Welcome back, everyone, to the Punk Rock Horror Podcast, the only podcast where the love of horror movies meets the culture of punk rock. I'm Matt.
I'm Cody.
And today we're here to remind you that adding 10 plus smile emojis on any of your posts on Facebook does not make your post 10 times more funnier or likable. It's just atrocious and annoying, and you need to calm that shit down.
Okay, good, because for a second there I thought you were going to go totally the other direction. I'm like, no, Matt. I know you're having fun with it, but not all of us, okay?
Yeah. No, I'm just getting used to, I just got used to that emoji game. Like, I cap it at 3. The only time I ever go above 3 is like when I'm telling someone happy birthday and I feel like they need to have a ridiculous amount.
I know.
That's the only time because I feel like that warrants it. But like a simple video that's like kind of funny, but not like laugh out loud funny, and like 15 plus laughing emojis, like it just angers me. And I know it's super petty and like doesn't add anything and it's not holding the world back, but it's just like I feel like it's like a false statement on how funny the video is.
I don't know. I also feel like the person's probably trying to be sarcastic.
No.
Because I feel like I would get 10 laughing emoji faces on something where I'm, like, if I were to repost that dad joke one, was like, I was trying to catch the fog today. I missed.
Yeah, the person I'm thinking of isn't sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Straight up about it, and I'm just like, it's not that funny. But then again, I can't really dictate what people do and don't find funny. But
yeah,
at the same time,
stop trying to hold us down there, Matt.
Yeah, keeping you
fascist.
Down. Give me all your money. Today,
we're supposed to be against the man. That's not punk rock, man.
Well, like any good horror movie, that's the twist.
What's a twist?
Been secretly funded by NBC this entire time.
I mean, you should have gone with at least CBS. Respect yourself a little bit.
No, because I feel like CBS is more underground compared to NBC.
Yeah, that's why I said respect yourself.
I know, exactly, because like they're funding it. Get it? That's the twist. And today we are live recording over at Gorehound's Playground up here in Fort Collins, Colorado. So you might hear some people coming in, checking out some horror movies while we're recording. Don't mind them. We're all horror fiends here, and we're all want to get our gore on. But if you are up here in Fort Collins by the time this comes out, which is this Monday, so today, stop by Gorehounds, get yourself a movie, and just check out this cool place because they have a theater that we're recording in right now. There's couches everywhere. There's like all these like portraits of horror movies and statues. I'm looking at a very detailed Pinhead right now, bust. Yeah. Just looking as grim as possible, and it's dope.
I like the Reagan.
Oh yeah, Reagan from The Exorcist.
Yeah. I've been coming here. This is where usually if I can't find my movie online, I'll just come here and rent my movies. And the guy's super knowledgeable. The owner's super knowledgeable about horror movies, and he helps me out with my selection and stuff. And he has a huge selection. So
yeah,
if you're in Fort Collins and you love horror movies, definitely come and check out Gorehound's Playground.
Yeah, check it out. It's it's a nice little shindig. You don't see a lot of places like Gorehound's around these days anymore, and
no,
definitely deserves the love.
And another cool thing is they have movie nights and stuff here, so like definitely check it out. And if you want to like watch horror movies and talk about it with other horror fiends, like this is a place to come. Like it's really cool. I really like this place.
Depending how well this goes, if they want, we might even do a live show up here for you guys.
That'd be cool.
So, yeah, let's. With that being said, we're jumping into everything today. Also, if you haven't checked out yet, we still have merch. We're working on some new products to add to our store at Teespring right now. The link to get any of our merch are some new shirts that are coming in. And be on top of it, just head over to our Teespring account. It's right in the episode notes below, teespring.com/punkrockhorrorpodcast. You can also find that on our website, and you can click on any of the products you see, and it'll take you directly to our store to order yourself some merch. We
got a couple selections now. We have our custom-made logos that we made for just the shirts, and then we also got a couple more selections of tanks, tees.
Yeah, we got tanks that says, whether you're a ghoul or a gal and you want to rep that. We have one that says, I'm a ghoul and I watch horror movies, or I'm a gal and I watch horror movies. both in a nice red and purple, gooey, gory kind of looking style. And
they're like super soft, made from the entrails of the victims.
Yep. You know which ones. The ones that have it coming, the ones that use the 10 plus laughing emojis on their post. Those ones.
Yep. And a couple Rick and Morty fascist fans.
Oh.
I'm calling them fascist fans. They're not real fans.
And a couple parents who decided not to vaccinate their kids.
Yep. So these shirts promote vaccination.
It goes to a good cause. We killed the parents and provide the vaccinations for the kids.
Yep. So now they won't die.
Which, by the way, if you're taking any of this serious, like
we're about 25% serious.
You're like, you need to calm down.
You need to calm down, sir.
With that being said, we should also probably talk a little bit about what's going on in horror this week.
Yeah, so we're starting a new, just to let y'all know, we're going to be starting a new segment in our Monday episodes where we're going to be talking about things going on in horror.
Yeah, that's right, Cody. It kind of like made sense too, because thinking about it, we've been trying to figure out what we should do to kind of like fill the slot for our Monday episodes, and it's kind of like a slap in our faces or not a slap in our face, or a slap in our foreheads that we never thought of just talking about what's going on in horror for the week before.
Yeah, should have had a V8.
So shit. A toy.
Call back to a couple years or so ago.
Oh, man.
Stupid ass jokes.
So let's, so talking about what's going on in horror this week. So, big thing, obviously, if you're a big horror fan, you know that this past week, Pet Sematary, directed by Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Weidmeyer from Starry Eyes, came out with their revamped remake of the movie, and it is...
Oh, dude, I'm so excited about that movie.
I want to see it so bad.
So bad.
So, good news is that it came out strong and has made $200 million.
That's Jordan Peele's Us.
Sorry, I was reading off the information that I got, but...
I was like, no, which, by the way, Us is a fantastic movie. If you have not seen it, like, that's a really good horror movie.
Yeah, I got a little tripped up.
Really good.
I'm getting excited because I need to calm down. So...
It's such a good time for horror movies right now.
Exactly. Well, because it's like, okay, I'm getting so excited because like last year we had It, we had Get Out, and we had Hereditary come out, and obviously there was more that came out, but these were like the strongest hitters. And
I still haven't seen Hereditary.
Well, already jumping into this year, we got Us, which tops at like 200 million, right? And then Pet Sematary, who also has like a strong opening. It's what I think like made 25 million. And that's all estimated, and like 17.3 internationally. And this is a global opening, and I know this is like small compared to like what Avengers is gonna make.
Well, I'm saying not just horror movies, man. The new Twilight Zone even debuted.
Yeah, on YouTube.
And it's good, and it like really makes you feel like you're watching the original Twilight movies or the Twilight show.
Right.
And Twilight Zone show.
Twilight Zone show. Again, we're just excited because there's some dope shit happening in horror, especially the week of like April Fools. Another thing.
And we're not fooling.
Ain't fooling around, and that's exciting. Another thing coming out is for all of the Ghostbuster fans out there is we're getting a Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Steelbook collection on the way with footage lost and never seen before, and so like looked up kind of some of the details for what's going to be in here, and like we got for Ghostbusters itself, you're going to have 6 rare, nearly unearthed deleted scenes, including like a long requested 4 determining scenes, raw takes from Central Park bum sequence. You're gonna get like it has like the original like TV commercial for the film, and a moment with the stars. It's
pretty much if you're a huge Ghostbusters fan, this is gonna be like the copy that you want to buy.
Yeah, this is a must add to your collection.
And I am gonna say like I enjoyed the all-female remake.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like it's one of the few. Like I was kind of a little up in arms about it too when they first released it, but I went and saw it and I actually enjoyed it. So like, for what it is, it's a fun movie. Like my biggest critique is I feel like they should have linked it in, like actually made it a sequel instead of a reboot.
Well, probably like part of the problems with it was like one, it was you had too many comedic heads butting together and not complimenting like the original Ghostbusters.
You had, and unlike the original Ghostbusters, which the funny thing about it is like when you think about the original Ghostbusters, like they all worked together for a long time, and like just their comedic styling blended together very well.
Yeah.
While the reboot, like, as I love all four of those actresses, they are fantastic, but their comedic styles didn't blend together very well. Like, of course, Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy's comedy blended very well, and every scene they were both in together was fantastic. But when you throw the other two in, sorry, I'm just forgetting the names.
It's Rashida Jones and I forget the other actress's name.
Me too, and she's my favorite out of all four. I always forget her name.
Anyways,
But like their comedic actings just didn't mesh as well. But like their own scenes were fantastic. So it was just like too much of a good thing was basically what it is with those actresses' talents, in my opinion, and they just didn't blend as well together. And like I said, I feel like if it was actually connected to the original Ghostbusters, it would have been a lot better, and I don't feel like as much hate would have been shown on it, because it was a fun movie. It was a fun ghost movie.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. But yeah, so if you're a fan of Ghostbusters, definitely get the Steelbook collections. Harrison James, probably.
Yeah, right. And our amazing comic book guy who's come on here a couple of times, Drew Edwards. He's also a big Ghostbusters fan. And just anyone in general. Also,
and then so for all of our, speaking of comic books,
right. Jumping into it, Jared Leto shared a full look at his Morbius and what it's going to look like for the Morbius film. Which, for all our comic book fans, you know who Morbius is. He's the lovable vampire that Marvel created.
Honestly, I could take or leave Morbius. I was never a big fan of his character.
I liked him. I thought he was pretty rad.
Like the only time I really liked him was in the '90s Spider-Man cartoon and Marvel Zombies.
Yeah,
he was badass in Marvel Zombies when they had him and all the original like his group of like horror monsters fighting the Marvel Zombies. I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
So
and it's a vampire who preys on criminals, so it's like,
I know. I just, for some reason, just something about him I could never really connect with. But like, I feel like this is actually a role, like a comic book role that Jared Leto would actually be good for.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I want to agree. I'm still waiting, but
I'm gonna wait too. But since I don't have a huge, since I don't like care for Morbius, I'm definitely gonna be going into it more with an open mind. So I feel like I'll actually enjoy it more, whether it's good or bad.
Right, and speaking of things that are probably going to be good or bad, tonight's WrestleMania, because we're recording this on Sunday, April 7th, and I'm going to be hanging out watching it with you. Yeah. And Batista's got a match with Triple H tonight.
Yeah.
But other big things with Batista, he's slated to be working with Zack Snyder again, and he's going to be in a zombie film for Netflix called Army of the Dead.
I'm excited about this movie.
So
I just want to see Batista powerbomb a zombie through a table. Like, I really want to see that.
I know, just Batista bomb. And so we went to Bloody Disgusting to get a little more details on this. So credit to Bloody Disgusting. The film is, what they said is that the film is expected to shoot later this year. The adventure is set amid a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, during which a man assembles a group of mercenaries to take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted.
Oh man, it's going to be like
Ocean's 11, but with zombies.
It's going to be Ocean's Day of the Dead.
Oceans of the Dead. But it said it's Army of the Dead. I know when we saw Army of the Dead, me and you both thought it was Army of the Darkness for a second there.
Yeah, we both kind of had a dyslexic moment.
We were just what happened to Evil Dead 2?
And then one game I'm really excited for it because I was somewhat looking forward towards Overkill's The Walking Dead, but at the same time I kind of knew the whole Payday formula.
Oh yeah,
it would not work for a zombie game, so I was really hoping they were going to try something new with it and go more the Left 4 Dead route.
Yeah,
but World War Z the game, which honestly I was super hesitant about because I saw the movie, and if it was called anything else I would have enjoyed that movie. If they called it something besides World War Z, just War Z or something, instead of trying to relate it to the book.
Well, and it just gets
because it has nothing to do with the book except for the name. But I saw the new gameplay trailer for the game, And I'm really hoping this pulls off Wolverine Origins, where the game is like 20 times better than the movie.
Right.
And this game looks nuts, man.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really good. I'm super excited. And I saw the gameplay trailer, and holy shit. Like, when they said they're going to have hundreds of zombies on screen, they're going to have hundreds of zombies on screen.
That's going to be exciting, man. Mm-hmm. I've seen a little gameplay footage here and there, and I like how it looks. I hope the execution's good, and it's going to be fun, because I know, like, there's still talks of Left 4 Dead 3, you know.
Well, they're not going to do Left 4 Dead 3 instead.
But it's called, like, it's called something else, but I'm like, so Left 4 Dead 3.
But Valve has things against the number 3, so they're just going to make a whole new IP, but basically
really
do the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to get your zombie fix, World War Z, the game, comes out April 16th for all the major consoles and PC except for Switch.
Yeah, it's going to be PC via the Epic Store, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Not the Switch, obviously. We just touched on that because, yeah, but I was, okay, you know what? Okay, so I just had this thought in my head thinking it would be funny if they did do it and have, like, an army of, like, Yoshis. Or like
that'd be so funny.
Chase after you,
dude. If it's an army of toads, I'm totally down.
I know. Like, those little fuckers gotta come. But no. But that also made me think of this. It's really funny, really quick. Is that so? Obviously, like April 1st passed, and a lot of like gaming places and gaming companies do love to like fuck with their fans.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that did happen is that Ubisoft put in for our honor the Rabbids for one day.
Yeah, that actually happened.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So you could run around. So if you missed the chance, you were able to run around as like a Viking or a samurai and cut the heads off of like Rabbids.
You know, I debated about buying For Honor for just that day to do that.
It was free on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, well, I didn't download it.
Come on, man.
Dude, I didn't want the game. Like, honestly, I was just like, it sounds cool, but if they didn't put as much effort into a single-player game... Because, like, think of that concept for a single-player, just fun B-movie-esque, like, story. Like, they totally could have done that, but they're like, yeah.
I get it.
So that's why I didn't really want to.
I mean, I still want to get into the play because it just, like, mechanics look fun to me.
Yeah.
And do look like they would be relieving to actually, like, play and get kills in on.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on lately. Oh, and also, I just wanted to throw this in real fast. Have you seen the trailer for Last Dead or something like that with Bill Murray and
oh man,
Mr. Driver?
I got super territorial about that when it came out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm gonna give you a peek into to my elitist mindset that I try not to have. So I saw that came out, and you know that
Adam Driver.
Sorry. No, it's cool. So the trailer for that movie came out, right?
Yeah.
And it's a solid cast, but ties into what I was talking about, the whole emoji thing. Same dude put 15 plus emojis while sharing the post, and I'm like, stop ruining things I enjoy. Just stop it. It's not, you don't need to go overboard with it. You're a fucking asshole. Oh, he's not an asshole though. He's actually a really good guy. Sweet dude. Sweet person. I know, and he's an amazing dude, but still, 15 plus, like, shut up.
What I was super excited about, though, is just seeing the zombified Iggy Pop and, like, how he actually might have a pretty big role as a zombie.
I know.
I thought that was like a great...
It's kind of weird that we've never had Iggy Pop as a zombie yet.
The best part about it, too, is when I saw him in his zombie makeup, I was just like, they probably just put a little bit of red on him, because he's old, man. He looks like a zombie himself.
Yeah, he's...
from all the partying and rocking and beating the shit out of himself.
But he's held up throughout the years.
Oh, yeah. No, more power to him, man.
That body doesn't quit.
He's like, I got an ass that don't quit.
Like, and I know people give him like shit for taking off his shirt at his age, but I'm like, I don't know, if I was Iggy Pop and I looked like Iggy Pop, I would probably take off my shirt too.
You know what? If I was just that old, I'd always take my shirt off. It's like, fuck it, what are you gonna do? Try and tackle an old man? Come at me, bro.
Do it. Do it. I'm the godfather of punk.
I will end you.
Oh man. So yeah, let's jump into it then. Listener participation corner. So we went on to the Twitters and our Facebooks, and
we'll do the Facebook one first because it's smaller.
Yeah, we gotta get more love on the Facebook.
I know.
I will say though, actually think it's hard on Facebook because, believe it or not, when we do listener participation corners on our Facebook, we don't get notifications when you reply. So if you've ever commented and you've gotten it's taken forever for you to get a reply from us, we never get notifications. So we're trying to check in more currently on that. It's just I don't know why Facebook doesn't let us know. It just doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
But that aside, so we wanted to know what are some of your favorite horror films with mad scientists in them and that you feel don't get enough attention. So, taken away over on Facebook.
Okay, so this is a really cool one. I love Lala for this.
Oh, yeah.
Because not, like, almost when I was doing my research for this topic, like, there wasn't a whole lot of, like, mentions of this movie. I had to find it in its own article.
Oh, yeah?
And it's really sad. We'll go more into it about it when we get to that part of the show. But Lala said the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Yeah.
It is considered the granddaddy of all horror films.
Yeah.
And it's never mentioned.
No,
in all the history that we've talked about horror films, like it's never been brought up. And it is like one of the first movies ever to have a mad scientist in it.
Well, and what's so two things interesting about that is first, that is our first 1920 film that was ever recommended
1919 is when it came out.
Yeah.
So it's not the 20s yet.
Well, when I looked it up, it said 1920s. So maybe it got started in 1919, but it came out in 1920.
No, it came out in 1919.
Either way, specifics aside,
it came out in the 1910s.
That's our first classic horror film that's ever been recommended on the Spawncast or made of a choice. Also, it's also kind of funny because I remember when we had Lala and Andy and Phil on here from CPRA talking afterwards. Lala's not a big fan of horror, so the irony of her recommending
I know that was so
is pretty funny.
And then Allison said the Abdominal Dr. Phoebes movies. He's mad scientist-ish.
Well, but that one deserves its own credit because it's Vincent Price.
Yeah.
It's Vincent Price. So it counts.
Yep. And then Zach said Dr. Butcher, MD.
Dr. Butcher, MD, Zombie Holocaust, I believe.
And the owner of the place that's hosting us, the owner of Gorehounds, he said Herbert West of Reanimator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, Herbert West in that movie is... I mean, the character Herbert West is... You love him and you hate him at the same time.
I mean, that's basically the entire feeling for Reanimator.
Well, you know what? We're going to keep our lips shut because I actually did a review for that movie. Everyone on my Instagram already knows that. Foreshadowing.
Like they do in all horror movies.
All horror movies. So over on our Twitter, again, a lot of you have replied, so I'm going to try to get through every single one of you as quickly and as efficiently as I can. So, from Hunter Lynn Poetry at Hunter's Poetry, Mad Monster Party, he recommended that. From Crash Palace at Crash Palace,
Monster Party.
From Beyond seems to be underappreciated.
Sorry.
It's okay. From Beyond seems to be underappreciated. Hard to get Human Centipede out of my head. And to which I cleverly told him, yeah, that taste is kind of hard to get out of your mouth. Leave the bad taste, get it?
That's why you put the Husky in, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. It's you get it? From Octoberpod at Octoberpod VHS. The Devil Bat, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, The Four Skulls of Jonathan Drake, The Werewolf, Katzman, and Frankenstein, and The Monster from Hell. From Ellen Joyce at Ellen Joyce author. Sorry. Mimic's book version had the best mad scientist ending ever, also one of the best evisceration scenes ever. And then she did correct herself to say that she also meant Relic, not Mimics. So either way, bravo. From Art of the Crow at Art of the Crow, my choice would be the one who started all Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Who knows where it could have been today without her influence. And then, of course, from Exploding Heads Pod at Horror Podcast, Reanimator, Herbert West, again, so 2 for the West Man. From Friday the 13th Horror Podcast at Friday 13. Gotta go with Ex Machina, which is a solid choice.
That is a good movie. Have you seen it?
I've seen a little bit of it, but I haven't been able to finish it. But what I did see, it's so
good, dude.
It's so unnerving.
Me and my mom went and saw it, and she really liked it too. Yeah. It's not really like a horror, but it's intense. Like, just like the entire time you're on the edge, you're like, what's gonna happen?
From JP at JP Creative Design, Asylum from 2008. From Lebelana Diedrich at T Diedrich. She responded with a picture of the Island of Dr. Moreau, of course, a classic as well. From Who Walk Here at We Who Walk Here. Oh, it's We Who Walk Here. I apologize. We Who Walk Here. They said Island of the Lost Souls, pre-code horror as its finest. Charles Lafton as Dr. Moreau and Bela Lugosi asking, "Are we not men?" And then from The Crypt of Horrors at I636, the weird thing at Robert B. England does as herpetologist in Python 2000. It feels like there's some depth there that you don't get in those movies. There's a scene where he hands off his pet snake to someone before doing something dangerous that speaks to me about that character. From Hannah Selector, gotta throw in my Eldritch love, The Void, which we did a review on when we started this podcast. Did. So, yes, shout out to you. From Legendary Sidekick, at Jordan the VO, Frankenstein's Army, great, slightly silly monster design, creepy-ass first-person view, gore galore, Nazi monsters. Nothing not to love.
I felt... Okay, so just speaking of, like... Because I thought about doing that movie, and the sad part, I fell asleep when I first watched that movie, like, way back when.
Oh, no.
I didn't enjoy it.
Fair enough.
And like, if you like it, I should probably try and give it a second chance. But
that was our listener participation corner. Thank you for everyone who participated and commented. If you have any movies and want to keep talking about it, these discussions are still going on over our Twitter at officialprhp or our Facebook, facebook.com/punkrockhorrorpodcast. Thank you again for everyone commenting, and also we want to thank all of you because we're now over at 900 followers on our Twitter. So thank you to everyone who's following us and supporting us. And, especially, to those people who have been listening to us from the get-go and have been sharing us with your family and friends and continue to. And to all of our new ghouls and gals who have joined us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Seriously, thank you. All right, so let's jump into it. Let's talk about Mad Scientist. This is kind of a big day because this is the first time that I didn't do any research, but Cody did.
Second.
When was the first time?
Dick, forgetting about me.
No, when was the first time?
Was
there another time?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just so used to doing all the research.
Oh, that's fine. Make me sound like the piece of shit on here. Oh no, I have to try and find it.
It's okay.
But it was a while ago.
I'm wondering what it was now. I feel really bad that I can't remember.
Where is it? I had it on here. Oh, so you have Mad Scientist is today. My resumes. I think it was.
Are you talking about the one that you originally did?
Yeah,
the first one.
First one.
Oh.
I can't remember. Anyways, I know I did one for werewolves and also mermaids.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So 3. I've done at least 3. Thanks.
Sorry, man. Hey,
just throw me on the bus.
Look, to be fair,
I didn't have to do this.
To be fair, I'm so used to doing it myself that it kind of adds up, okay?
Whatever.
I'm just saying, man.
No, just keep making me feel bad.
59 episodes in.
I know. Making me feel like everyone's probably listening right now is like, man, Cody's a piece of shit.
No, you're not.
He doesn't even do anything.
Look, all our listeners have to understand that you work in a job that is far more demanding than mine is.
Too.
And so you don't get that time to always write research. So, I left it up to you when you felt you were ready to, and you totally came to me and you were like, hey, man, I'm totally good to do some research. And I'm like, all right, jump on it. Feel free, dude. And so, that's what happened. It's the truth. I'm sure it would be different if I was in your job.
Okay, well, what's going on? Continuing.
I'm just trying to help you.
Help me look like a piece of shit.
Okay. Well, there's only so much I can do.
Anyway, so I really wanted to actually do the research of Mad Scientist because I was actually super curious about like where it started, because because I was thinking about it, I was like, you never see a scientist actually being the good guy in any movie.
Right.
Like they either have good intentions and fuck up, or they're just fucking crazy. So,
yeah. Or I think there's only been one. Well, no, I mean that's true, because I was gonna say like Edward Scissorhands, his dad, who was technically a mad scientist.
yeah.
But I guess like it was what you just said. Like he's good, like he has good intentions, but
Yeah,
screws
like
up.
the only time I ever see like the only one that comes to mind, I'm sure there's a couple more that comes to mind that like they ended up being the good guy is
Frankenweenie.
the Thing. No, the Thing.
Oh yeah. There's the Thing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Frankenweenie. I guess is the other one.
kinda. I mean, he's just a kid.
He just was a
But-
dog. That's all. He didn't really do anything bad.
Yeah. But anyway, so the basic description for a mad scientist is the scientist, also mad doctor or mad professor, is a caricature of a scientist who is described as quote unquote mad or insane, owing to a combination of unusual or unsettling personality traits and the unabashedly ambitious, taboo, or hubristic nature of their experiments. It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Electric like orbs in the background and like things blowing up.
Yeah, pretty much.
The mist.
I'm gonna go steal this man's left leg, combine it to this old lady's right leg, and we're gonna get a creature of unfathomable being.
And I will have a new best friend.
Yeah, basically. I feel like that's what all the mad scientists want.
just want friends.
All their creatures are just like, will you hug me? I need a hug. And they're like, man.
Except except the dude from Centipede. He has a bad fetish.
Yeah, all Germans have that. He's German.
No. Okay, all of our German listeners, we're not we're being smartasses. That was probably worse that I had to explain that we're being proud. like first it was fine, we were gonna let it go, but now they're talking to us like we're fucking morons.
We know what we expected for listening to this for 59 episodes.
Yeah,
So-
Jesus, fuck you guys, fuck you.
Sprechen Sie Dick.
Freaking see this dick, motherfucker. Like, so
Continuing
we
on.
deserve that.
Yeah.
I deserve that.
You did. So yeah, movie wise, what's really funny about when Lala's pick of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, like I said, it was the granddaddy of all horror films. But a quick synopsis of it, it's not only the granddaddy, it's an eerie exploration of the mind of a madman pit against an evil doctor. Or the evil doctor is pit against a hero. So this is not only is the granddaddy of horror films, it's also one of the first showings of a mad scientist in film.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And then, of course, the prototype of all mad scientists is Dr. Frankenstein, who was created by Mary Shelley in 1818. And yes, I'm going to be this guy real fast. It is Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. The monster is not Frankenstein.
But that's still interesting though that
Yeah.
like that the monster was given the name Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I think I'm surprised I don't know this, but I wonder, did the monster even have a name at all, or was it just the monster?
It's just the monster.
I feel like later,
Some people, he did kind of have a name. They gave him a nickname. It was a biblical one, and I can't remember what. I think it's technically. I can't remember what they named him, because it was another biblical one, just like Dracula's kind of related to Judas.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay.
I'm looking it up.
So while you're looking that up, and also the movies brought back like the stereotypical mad scientist look that you would think of, like the white coat and all the like computers and stuff in the background. That's actually contributed oh my god, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm just having a rough time today.
So real quick. So fun fact. So the monster has no name in the novel. So yeah, we were right.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout points in it, in the novel, he's been referred to as the creature, the fiend, the daemon, and the wretch. But I didn't realize this though. So the reason though, we should have gotten this, is that the reason he doesn't have a name is because it's a reflection of the rejection that Dr. Frankenstein has for his monster, because I totally didn't even think about it, that he kind of hated his monster after he created it, so he didn't bother to name it.
Well, it tried to kill him.
So, well, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying there isn't reason, but like it's also kind of heartbreaking at the same time, though.
It is. No, dude, the entire story of Dr. Frankenstein and his creature is like a severely heartbreaking novel.
Well, I never even thought about
I read
that.
the book, and it's hard, man. Like,
Yeah.
and it still holds up today. But like when you see the interactions between the two, it's rough. Like you feel for the creature, like because everyone knows what rejection feels like, and especially rejection of someone close to you, whether it was
Well, in this case, it is apparent.
Yeah,
like it's
it's his actual
Dr.
parent.
Frankenstein. Yeah, is
But
his
like,
parent.
but I was say like everyone knows what rejection feels like, especially from like a significant other, someone close in that factor. So, yeah, but
well, and it's just polarizing too. I mean, if you really think about it, like it's again, we talk about how heartbreaking it is, but like Frankenstein, the daemon, the wretch, the fiend, is even in a metaphorical like standpoint. Like if we're gonna really take it apart, kind of like it can relate to a lot of people who have had those figures in their life that had done the same thing. So that's just. I never thought about that.
it's rough.
Wow. We got deep on this one.
Yeah, we did. Well, and going to the silly, so, when, like, the silly man scientists, I'm quote-unquote, like, with all the, like, computers in the background, electrical arcs everywhere, sparks and stuff like that, when they're doing the creations.
Right.
So that stereotype's actually accredited to Fritz Lang's movie Metropolis from 1927. In the form of the scientist Rotwang. He's the one who started that whole stereotypical. Yeah, that's such.
No, I mean it's just like Rotwang. Like
Rotwang.
This is gonna get kind of bad, so bear with me. It just sounds like something you would like hear, like maybe something on the bayou. They say like, "I take now right now, Rotwang."
But his laboratory is the one where he had like started the whole stereotypes.
Sorry, Rotwang also just sounds like the name of like a gang member.
Yo, Rotwang, how's it going?
Rotwang, don't play that. Rotwang, don't play that.
Do you think he roundhouse kicks someone and just goes Rotwang?
Rotwang need his bitches in line. We are ruining this classic movie.
Yes, you are. But yeah, and so like even though they've been prevalent in horror movies for a while, I mean like almost every horror movie has like a mad scientist or a creepy scientist type person. It was actually really, really popular after World War II, and because the sentence was mad scientists became more prominent in pop culture after World War II because of the sadistic and atrocious human experiments the Nazis performed during World War II, especially Joseph Mengele.
Oh yeah, I mean that dude was notorious with his experiments.
So if his name sounds familiar, he was an SS officer who performed deadly experiments such as sending the Jews to the gas chambers. He was in the group that specifically picked him out, and it was especially all the elderly, most of the children. Moms with small children and pregnant women.
What was so like? Sorry, I don't mean to.
Well, and say and what he also did, he was the one who helped administer. Like he had helped administered and created the cyanide-based pesticide that were used in the gas chambers.
Yeah,
and he was the one that did a lot of the experiments in Auschwitz on twins. His favorite thing was working on twins.
And dogs too. Yeah, because of him, it created I forget what it's called. But it's an actual urban legend that like was talked about during the time where like if you were walking through a field and you heard howling. There's just this like mutated wolf that was worked on by him in a lab and would come and kill you basically. That was the urban legend behind it. And also like looking into this dude, looking at all his exploits and everything, you kind of got to start to wonder if he wasn't really genocidal and shared the same views that the Nazis did back then, but was just a legitimate like mad scientist and wanted reasons to experiment. Now, and I'm not saying that's true, but like again, looking back at like the things he did, you can't help but wonder if that was the case.
And like, and the other crazy thing about all that is like, he was kind of the one that like really set the standard for mad scientists in movies. Like, because, movie art imitates life.
Yeah.
And so when you're making mad scientists, he's kind of like the go-to because he's
Well,
the most
now-
infamous one.
Well, and even on top of that, you think about it, like a lot of the classic ones always had like at least a subtle, if not very heavy German accent to it too. Mm-hmm. Like, and so that kind of like makes sense that a lot of the mad scientists that are, that we think of always have that German accent because, well, I mean, good old Joey over here.
Yeah. Well, and like the other thing that's great, and not just Joseph Mengele, he's just one of the more famous ones, but like the Nazis did a lot of experiments
Yeah.
with science and stuff like that. And
I mean, it was disgusting what they did, and like I know I sound like excited like talking about it, but not like excited like it's a good thing. It's not, but it's just like it's more so kind of polarizing that this was okay
yeah. Well, yeah.
back then. I mean, nowadays,
I mean,
obviously, not,
I mean, for the most part, I mean, the Nazis did it. The ones following like straight under Hitler were doing it so they could do his whole pure Aryan race, and they were trying to figure out how to truly create the Ubermensch.
yeah,
So like, that's what I thought was really crazy about it. And so so I was actually thinking about it while I was doing my research for this, is like, why in most horror movies, like, why are scientists really generally made out to be the villain? Like,
Right.
when you think about it, I've rarely seen like a movie where the scientists were good guys, or like they ended up becoming good guys because of their experiments. Like Hollow with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
The Hollow Man.
also a very unappreciated one. I'm surprised that no one mentioned either. So
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's like probably one of the biggest reasons that there's like this really incredible scene in the movie where like I think he like molests a woman.
He rapes and kills her.
Rapes and kills her. That's right.
But,
I
like-
think that's probably why not a lot of people talk about it.
But when you think about it, like, they're all scientists, like good scientists trying to do their work. But like, when you think about it, like what they were doing was playing God, and so they're probably considered evil to a lot of the outside world. That's why they never talked about their experiments. And that's one of the few times you see like the scientists like trying to do good become evil, and then while the others become good. And so I was really thinking about why scientists are always like made out to be mad scientists. And besides the fact that it's fun and it's kind of funny with the whole stereotype, I kind of think like I don't remember if we touched on it way back when, but there's a lot of like religious undertones in horror movies. Like the virgins always die first and stuff like
Right.
that. And so when you think about it, the reason why scientists are always made out to be the evil one is because religiously science is evil because you're playing God. So I feel like that's also another reason why they usually have mad scientists always being the villain. It's because they're trying to play God, something they're not.
Well, the timing when you're talking about it, I looked into this as to why like we have this obsession and why scientists scare us, and I'm going to cite it again because I love this website because they do a really good job with their research. On Psychology Today, an article written titled "Halloween and the Mad Scientist Problem," written by Stuart Weiss, PhD. It's actually he made this really cool, captivating point about mad scientists is that so when we have like serial killers, right, we're definitely confronted with someone who's overly brawn and mutated and kind of somehow just the worst like reflection of society. But when we're confronted by mad scientists, what we're being confronted by then is mental illness. And how it takes hold. Now, if you think about it, like mad scientists, like mad is what was used to describe people back in the day who did, well, were seen as crazy but suffered from mental illness. And so when we come to, talking about mad scientists, what they said in Psychology Today is the case of mad scientists is very similar, except that mad scientists get their power from brain, not brawn. Dr. Frankenstein's scientific brilliance produces monstrous power. In traditional portrayals, scientists are thought to have stolen forbidden knowledge from the gods or lost their humanity in some unholy Faustian bargain. Mary Shelley's rarely remembered alternative title for Frankenstein was the New Prometheus. In some cases, the scientist is not so much mad or immoral as possessed of inappropriate motives. In countless monster movies, for example, one that also surprisingly wasn't brought up, Alien, It is the scientist who wants to keep the creature alive for further study. Bad idea, right?
Yeah, so I think the reason why not a whole lot of people think Alien is a mad scientist movie because it's more like a mad corporation.
Well,
because he's doing it for Weyland-Yutani.
but he's still, again, the motives.
No, I know.
So,
but I'm just
but,
saying it's not just a mad scientist. It's
Well,
more
to
like
finish out what they were saying, though, sorry. These deluded researchers create conflict that moves the plot along, but usually the message is clear: the unbridled pursuit of knowledge is misguided, dangerous, and immoral. Better to follow the lead of the clean-cut, no-nonsense hero whose motives are focused squarely on the values of country, family, and public safety. And so, again, I suggest that you check out this article on Psychology Today. It's really good. But I think no. Let's talk about it.
Well, and say besides that, I was thinking on myself. It was a conversation I had with an ex actually, and it's pretty spot on. But so when you think about it, like in the mad scientists in movies, most of the time they're trying to create another creature that's a part of them or close to them. And she told me, like, you know, when you look at a lot of like extremely intelligent people throughout history, those who have like a pretty high IQ or just like are super intelligent in their field, like, because this also goes to like comedians and musicians and artists and stuff, you know, just because you're not like scientifically gifted doesn't mean you're not super intelligent, but the higher intelligence you have, the more likely you are to suffer from depression.
Yeah.
And because you're more, you acknowledge your mortality more, like the more intelligent you are, and just you know the way she said it was, you kind of see life to be more meaningless at that point. So I feel like also the whole thing with the mad scientist always creating a creature, usually it's, you know, that's a part of them, like, you know, because and stuff like that. It's because, you know, they're so depressed because they're alone, they're lonely.
Yeah.
And they're trying to create something to give them hope and like something to connect to.
Basically, I mean, they're what is it, the freaks and geeks of our society.
Yeah.
And that's
they're the tragic characters.
Yeah.
The tragedies.
And that's how they get looked at. And so that's when, you know, it's whether it's creating someone that you can bond with or creating a new invention, trying to overcome, you know, the bullies or whatever. I mean, you kind of see all those things happen with all these scientists. The only time it's different is, like, again, like Alien, where, like, it's the corporation that wants them to do it and they're getting paid to do it. They don't really have much as a stake to do it, is that they just want to further invest in this discovery.
Sorry, I was just like realizing we got super deep there.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we need a fart joke or something. Because I was like, God, we started talking about mental illness and depression. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, that's what the characters are a reflection of. It's how do you get lightly with that? Like, suicidal thoughts, hilarious. Such a good time. I mean, no, we can't, you know, obviously joke about that.
No, I know.
And expect people to laugh about it. But,
well, there are the few.
You know who you are. You terrible person, you. But even, like, Jurassic Park as well can be made the argument for mad scientists.
Oh, yeah, because they were creating things that were already extinct that you shouldn't create. Just like what Dr. Ian Malcolm said. You're creating chaos, the chaos theory.
Yeah, it's I mean, where do we go from that? Where do we go with, you know, these mad scientists? I think it's more or less that we're not scared of them, is that we relate to them and that we kind of do, in a way, want to see them achieve and win. I mean, this can't be said for Human Centipede, but...
No. Are you kidding me? I want to see all those walking around. I don't want to live a life where there isn't a human centipede walking around.
That's where our society's going, man. That's where we're going to end on. That's the peak of human physique right there.
Yeah, that's true human evolution. We all will just start eating each other's buttholes from now on.
It's going to be the new Olympic Games.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, why are you at the head? It's like, well, I never licked a butthole, so I'm a prude. So I just get it licked all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how it would work.
It's just an old joke like we used to make in the kitchen.
Zoned out because I started remembering when South Park made fun of it. And they're like,
Kyle, are you kidding me? I can surf the internet, send emails, and it shits in Kyle's mouth. This is the best thing ever.
And they like do the full like poop like scene of like them pooping. There was like, ugh,
Should
ugh.
I, Kyle? Do you want me to eat the cuttlefish or the vanilla paste? The vanilla paste. The cuttlefish. Okay, if you say so.
There's our poop joke to lighten everything up.
Well, it's just like as I was saying, the reason why I said that was mostly because of this inside joke that we always had at my work, whereas like if you've never licked a butthole, you're a prude.
Jesus. How does that make you what?
Just don't worry. There was a lot more to it. We were basically talking about like oral stuff, and they were like, "Well, if you've never licked a butthole, then you're definitely a prude."
I also don't like dysentery, so
Just saying.
I'm just saying, man.
And like that's the thing now. I guess that's like the big in thing right now for like sexual acts is eating ass.
It's like
Tossing that salad.
Jesus. I mean, on one end of the spectrum, windmills give you cancer. On the other, they're licking
Oh my
butts.
god, I can't believe that.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm just gonna
Anyways.
make a slight joke to it, just a slight nod.
Yeah. But anyways, well, it also reminds me of this joke. This comedian was talking about one of my favorites, Tom Segura. He was talking about how he used to watch this show called Scared Straight, and it was
Beyond Scared Straight.
Yeah. And so like the kids went into this prison, and this guy was just like, hold my pocket. And at the very end of it, he talks about they're like, so what do you do to like be the top dog and stuff like that? He's like, I make people toss my salad. I'm like, why don't you have them just like suck your dick? And he's just like, because if you suck a dick, you can think it's something else, but when you eat an ass, you know you're eating ass.
There's a lot of people in my life that I want them to eat ass. Currently.
Yeah, no, well, I do like go way back before all the eating ass jokes, but yeah, I do feel like when it comes to mad scientists, like in some cases, like you really do feel for him and you relate to him. Like Dr. Frankenstein, I feel like everyone can relate to the loneliness that he felt, and he was just trying to, in a terrible way, body grave robbing, trying to create someone that he can relate to, because even if I remember right, he also gave it part of his intelligence.
Yeah.
So like he just wanted someone to relate to, and everyone knows that feeling of like they just want someone to relate to, someone to connect with. And so like I think that's another reason why like in the older mad scientist movies where they're creature features, like we can totally relate to them, and we also relate hardcore to the creatures. Because, they were just born into this world as a monster, and they don't know that. And they're freaking out while everyone's, like, attacking them or being angry with them and stuff. And they're like, I just got here. Like, I'm just trying to exist.
Right.
So,
no, I feel you, man. That's why we have a podcast now. But you don't really see a lot of, like, mad scientist movies these days. Like, thinking about it, like... You don't see a lot that have...
It's always just an evil corporation. Like, that's all
it's just because evil corporations. Like, we all get it. All the corporations are evil. Except you, Shudder, who, we're going to still push for a sponsorship with you.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Shudder, I finally watched Mayhem. Holy shit, that movie's dope.
I told you. It was
and then it also kind of relates to the mad scientist thing. Well, okay, it does and it doesn't. Mostly because as I was watching it, I was like, this is everything I wanted the Belko experiment to be.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. That was a letdown.
It was still a fun movie.
Yeah, but
it wasn't. It was nowhere near as much of a letdown as Overlord. Another mad scientist, Nazis. But like, because it made me think of the Belko experiment about how they were experimenting on that entire, like, just this small group of scientists were experimenting about like, would humans like start killing each other just to live?
Yeah,
type thing.
Well, I mean. I also say, like, and I still stand by this, that Mayhem's probably the closest movie adaptation of the Crossed comic series that we're ever going to get. So, because we're never going to get that, like, intensive detail in the fucked up things they do.
I just thought it was funny the entire time he was doing his monologue and telling, like, the higher-ups that he's coming for him. You just see two people just, like, banging it out in the background.
Yeah.
He's
making a lot of good points.
Yeah, there's two people banging it out. There's another lady in all hysteria crying and throwing her papers everywhere. It's just like...
I'm pretty sure we all have those moments when we want to cry and throw things everywhere.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
I know what that's going to be like.
If you haven't had that moment at least once in your life, it's coming.
Just become a manager, if anything. You'll forget it.
Yeah. Just try and run something. Be in charge.
That was we're trying to sympathize with all of our managers out there. But from one to another. How's it going? We all suffer differently, right?
Yeah.
One thing I will do, though, to kind of like close out the show is that we did get this email back last month, and I want to read it now because I keep forgetting we had it until now. So,
before we move on to that email, actually, to round out like the whole mad scientist shtick, I kind of want to hear from our listeners, like, besides what your favorite mad scientist movie is. Like, do you relate to the mad scientists and the creatures? Like, do you actually kind of root for them? Because I know in a good amount of movies, like, I root for them. Like, even though they're made out to be the bad guy, I'm kind of like,
I mean, maybe not the Nazi one. But.
No, but like, you know, like Dr. Frankenstein, like I owe it, like the Frankenstein's monster was like I dressed up as Halloween, like I related to the creature for so long, especially after watching the movie adaptation, the good one, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro. Like, all he wanted was love. He hated the fact that he was created. He knew he was an abomination, but he's like, but now that I'm here, I just want to find love. And someone to connect to. The creature did, and I was just like, I know how you feel, man. Like,
I get that feeling.
Yeah, I just wanted to find someone to relate to, too. Like,
reach out to us on our Twitter, on our Instagram.
Yeah, like, do you want to see a resurgence of mad scientist movies? Like, maybe find a couple where, like, they are in the right. You know, like, where the mad scientist is the hero and not, like, you know, the villain who becomes a hero or just the straight-up villain. Like, what do you guys think?
Let us know what you think. Let us know where you're at. Talk to us, and we will talk back. But, yeah, I want to finish on this email that we got from Alexandra. Hey, guys, so I watched Autopsy of Jane Doe over the weekend because of your review. First impression was was expecting it to be scarier, but then at work I heard the same bell that rings in the movie when the dead bodies start walking around. I thought I was going to shit my pants. So I hear the bell the first time. I sit perfectly still, thinking this can't be happening. I hear the bell a second time. I think, how the hell am I going to make my escape? I hear the bell a third time, and then remember that a bird that's boarding has those same types of bells in her cage, and I feel like a pussy. So I guess it was a scary movie after all. Great review, guys. Thank you, Alex, for...
That's right, Alex. Yeah. That's right. You keep shitting on my things, and now they came back to bite you in the ass.
So, that's kind of funny, though. It's just like, that movie wasn't scary, then it actually happens. So you're like, oh my god, the faceless man. Which, like, we've gotten a lot of emails for Alex, and she's works in a veterinary clinic, and so it would be far more screwed up then at that point, because, like, if it was the same movie as Autopsy of Jane Doe, but with a dog, not a person.
Oh my god.
Like, right?
I couldn't handle it, because the entire time I was just like, who's a good boy who's gonna eat my face? Who's a good boy who's gonna eat my face?
Cuddles for face eating.
It hurts, but I don't care. You're so fluffy.
My face, my skin's everywhere. There goes my leg. Yeah, I mean, with that, though, we're pretty much at the end of this episode. So, if you want to keep up with all of our listener participation corners and all of what we're doing, please like us and follow us on Facebook, Punk Rock Horror Podcast. You can search us up, easy to find, or on our Twitter at official PRHP, or
Instagram, Punk Rock Horror Podcast, hashtag PRHP podcast.
And we mentioned it at the beginning, but we have merch now, so represent your favorite punk rock podcast. Go over to our account, Teespring. You can see that link. It's the first link in our episode notes or description. If you're on YouTube, get yourself a Punk Rock Horror Podcast t-shirt. Let us know what you think of it.
Send us email us pictures of it. We'll put it on our Instagram and everything.
We'll just put it on our Instagram, put it on our Twitter, and we'll put it on our website. If you want to represent the clothes, we'll definitely get you out there and get your face famous. And if you don't want your face to be famous, we can use your body, I guess, not to make it weird or nothing.
Wear a horror mask.
Yeah,
You know, like I'd be totally down posting pictures of y'all like wearing your favorite like masks or like makeup and stuff like that.
Oh my
like,
god, you know
horrify
what?
your pictures.
That's what we should do. We should have a competition where people take a picture of their shirts and we select a winner and send them free merch.
Yeah.
So I think
if you win, it's like a buy one get one.
Yeah. So I mean, start sending us those pictures. We actually might do that. We might send you a free shirt. You know, the only way to find out is by participating and doing it.
Yep.
If you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Player FM, YouTube, our website, www.punkrockhorrorpodcast, which is still continually being updated. Without that being, with everything else being said, please go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/punkrockhorrorpodcast to support the show if you would love to do so and just help out some local punk rockers. And thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. And with that being said, podcast over.
Podcast over.
Bye.
Bye.